In naturally, what the things in the world that we are engaged with, we think that we need this. But these things, they do not think that they didn't need us. Like my post, I am the khatib and imam of this mosque. But if I die now, but you cannot, you will no longer wait for for me one day. You will recruit others in place of mine. Similarly, think your post. If you die now, your sajanim, your boss will no longer wait for you one single brothers in Islam. As the blessed month, blessed moments are going very fast and very rapidly, the month of Ramadan, and we are almost about to enter the last 10 days of the Ramadan, as it is the 16th of the Ramadan in South Korea today. So almost the last 10 days of Ramadan is gonna be starting. So we should be engaging in as many ibadah, as many amal as we can. No one can say with surety that we will be longer up to the next Ramadan or not. So therefore, we should take these moments, rest of the month of Ramadan, as an opportunity. More specifically, the last 10 days of Ramadan are very beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and very much valuable these times, because there are many reasons. The first reason, the Laylatul Qadr, the best night of decree, which is the better than the thousand of the month. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept this night in the last part of this Ramadan. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to take it very seriously, the last part of the Ramadan. And it, as mentioned in the hadith, mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, there are two hadiths narrated by our mother Aisha radiallahu anha. She says, "Kana Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam idha dakhala ashru ahya al-layla wa ayqada ahla wa wajadda wa shadda al-mi'zar." Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to get up and used to pass the whole night, sleepless night, when the last 10 days of Ramadan would enter. And he used to wake his family up, and he used to tighten his waist. That means he would avoid the marital relationship with the mothers the last 10 days. And just washad al-mi'zara, he used to tighten his waist. So therefore, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to take the ultimate and uppermost level of his level best preparation for the last 10 days of the Ramadan. And rest of the Ramadan, it was habit of our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he used to get up at the last night for tahajjud, for qiyamul layl, he used to get up very slowly, very secretly, so that as not to disturb of the sleeps of our mothers. But specifically in the last 10 days of the Ramadan, when would enter the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not only he used to get up secretly, but also he would wake his family up. Ahya wa ayqada ahla. He used to get his family up from the sleeping. Another hadith mentioned, same narrated by our mother Aisha radiallahu anha. He says that كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يجتهد في العشر الأواخر ما لا يجتهد في غيره. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم used to strive more in devotion, in a'mal at the last 10 days of Ramadan than any other part of the month in the Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be more engaging in a'mal in the month of Ramadan. Today we have decided to talk about an act of worship we can perform, we can observe specifically in the last 10 days of the Ramadan. It is called al-i'tikaf. Al-i'tikaf, the meaning of the i'tikaf, it literally means to seclude oneself, and technically it means to seclude oneself in order to seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a masjid, just and engaging, passing these times and separating himself from any kinds of worldly filthiness and distractions of the world. So it is called the Itikaf, and it is very emphasized sunnah of our Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. As it mentioned in the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam kana ya'taqifu al-ashr al-awakhir min Ramadan hatta tawaffahu Allahu azza wa jalla thumma ya'takafu azwajuhu min ba'dihi. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to observe the i'tikaf during the last 10 days of the Ramadan until he passes away. He would not miss until he passes away from the world. He used to i'tikaf in the last 10 days of the Ramadan, and after him, his wives continues to observe the i'tikaf. And it is a great sunnah. The scholars, the majority fuqaha, the jurisprudence of Islam, they said that i'tikaf is sunnatul mu'akkada ala al-kifaya. That means that at least one people in each masjid, each community, should make the i'tikaf. So if it observed by one in a locality, it would be regarded as an obligation fulfilled on behalf of others. But if no one observe the i'tikaf, then everyone will be the sinners. Because of it's very emphasized sunnah. In addition, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to take it very regularly. In every Ramadan, he used to just observe the i'tikaf. Therefore, we should take it very strongly. And another, we can say that the nawafil a'mal, the sunnah, it is a reason to be more beloved and to strengthen the relationship, our relationship between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As it mentioned in a hadith narrated in Bukhari, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَمَا تَقَرَّبَ إِلَيَّ عَبْدِي بِشَيْءٍ أَحَبَّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا افْتَرَضْتُ عَلَيْهِ. My servant does not draw near to me with anything more beloved to me than the religious duties. And the Rasulullah said, وَمَا يَزَالُ عَبْدِي يَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالنَّوَافِلِ حَتَّى أُحِبَّهُ. My servant continues to draw near to me with nawafil, super categories a'mal, until I love him. So it is the reason to be beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And actually this is not the only hadith, it is a hadith al-Qudsi. That is the meaning came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the nawafil ibadah is a reason to be more beloved with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, that hatta uhibbahu, when a person he engaged with the nawafil ibadat, then finally Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love him. So last but not least, my brothers, we are very busy, and I think of course we may think that how come we should seclude ourselves from the work, from job, and staying 10 days day night in the masjid. I believe that it's very busy life in South Korea, but in spite of that, we should think that in naturally what the things in the world that we are engaged with, we think that we need this, but these things, they do not think that they need us. In short, in easy sentence, we can say that like my post, I am the khatib and imam of this mosque. But if I die now, but you will no longer wait for me one day. You will recruit others in place of mine. Similarly, think your post, that we need that job is, I need the job. I need this post. But this post, it doesn't think that he needs me. Because if you die, now your sajanim, your boss will no longer wait for you one single day. He will hire other in place of you, as long as your dead body will be remain in the medical, but he will already, he will hire someone in place of you. The work believes that I don't care you, I don't need you. If you do not engage with me, then I will manage it by others. That is the reality of the world. So in spite of that busy life, we should allow for the time. Sometimes we should, seclude ourselves from the, we should separate ourselves from the worldly distraction, so that divert our heart away from everything else, just only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from hellfire. may He gives us the tawfiq and ability to do the Itikaf this Ramadan. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم.